Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mindset Monday. And today, what we're going to talk about is kind of simplifying your life to get better results. All right. Let's just say addition by subtraction. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of power into that. It's real. Okay. And the first thing you have to do is you got to figure out what it is that you truly want. What is it that you want to go after? Okay, because once you know your big goal, your main goal, right? And there's ancillary things that obviously you're going to go after, right? I'm not saying you know make $1 million is the end all be all, right? But it could be growing your business, growing your family, your faith, your fitness, right? All those things matter and go into it, and they still serve that main big goal that you are going after. However, as you peel away things that don't serve you, right, you are going to focus on more of the things that do. And that in and of itself is a superpower. That in and of itself is going to help you grow and attain that goal much, much easier. I'll give you a couple of great examples of this. When I moved from Long Island, New York to Tampa, Florida, okay, I kind of had a complete and utter reset. I still spoke with my friends. I still have my friends. I still have my family. But I didn't have as many things pulling me in as many different directions because I was in a new place. It allowed me to sit and focus on my family, focus on my companies. All right. That helped tremendously. Another thing, right? Giving up booze, that that is absolutely addition by subtraction, right?
Yes.
No more waking up groggy, no more hangovers, even if it's just on the weekend, right? No more resets in any type of physical progress I'm making. That's addition by subtraction. All right. Those things you have to be honest with yourself. If you're somebody who games, right? I never, when I was a kid, I was into video games. But as I grew older, I really don't play them. The most I'll do is Mario Kart with my kids because they like Mario Kart, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I could tell you, I'm not sitting on there for more than a half hour max a week. Okay. So a great way to do this, right, is to think, hey, what are my goals? Write them down. Then list and do like a time study, right? What are you doing for the next 7 days? Write down what you're doing every 15 minutes. All right. Whatever doesn't really align with those goals, you get rid of. Okay. Any distractions, you get rid of. Anything that's dragging you down, you get rid of. It's much harder to drive the boat fast when the anchor's in the water and when the anchor's on the boat. All right. And everybody carries around these anchors. All right. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, toxic friends. All right. You don't know what it is until you do that time study. Right. But as soon as you do that, life gets really, really good. You start really winning at a high level. And that's what it's about. Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything that you're saying. I mean, the first thing you said, obviously, what do you want? And I think to add to that is what exactly is it going to take? Because it's going to create something, you're going to create a new identity out of this. You're not going to be the same person you were yesterday, the day before, the year before, a decade before. So you have to look at what's it really going to take, right? And then commit. Big thing is commit to actually the process, commit to getting it done. Keep track, give yourself accountability checklist sheet, and don't deviate from the plan. I mean, the last couple of weeks it seems like we've been talking about all the time anyways, win the day, right? And I think a lot of people when they feel addition by subtraction, they always put a monetary value to it. Oh, I want to achieve this dollar goal, or I have somebody close to me who's always saying, hey man, I hate my job, but like, I need and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. Well, it's like, well, what are you doing, man? Like, are you talking about it, or are you actually putting together something to actually drive that needle forward? Like, listen, I'll help you, man. Like, let's figure this out. Um, Draw that line in the sand, right? Do not deviate, make it non-negotiable. One of the coolest things, I think I read it in Atomic Habits, is especially if you have a goal, like kind of pay yourself for that goal. right? And if you deviate, take away from that goal, take it out of that jar. Like it's like a little cookie jar method. Hey, for every day I win, I'm going to put $1 or $10 in here, or $20, right? Every time you lose a day, you're going to withdraw that out. So I think it's a really good way to keep track of some of that stuff. But one of the biggest things that I'll put out here, which is, it seems like always to be the hardest thing for people to do, is say no, right? Say no a lot of times. Hey man, you want to go out? No. Hey man, you want to go to this event? No. Hey man, why are you being like that, right? Like then you'll start getting resistance. And your shift from those circles are always going to change. You talked about going down to Tampa, right? Well, I still live in the same area. And the crazy thing is, when you start focusing on, even in your hometown, it starts pushing some of those people away, not on purpose, but it's by design. My vision's over here, but theirs is over there. And it's nothing against them. That's just the path that they're choosing. And especially talk about.
Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. Go on. Sorry, Dave. Go on. No, that's a question I actually want to answer.
Yeah. No, I see it there. That's a great question. But that's nothing against them if they're taking that path. Alcohol is a great example. I'm a little over 2 years in, which, that's not a pat on the back for me. If anything, take that as an inspiration. It's not a problematic thing, although some may differ. But, if you knew me from 94, right, to 2014, from the time I was 13 until 33, like I'm surprised nothing worse has happened to me in that timeline, or should have. And that's the old identity of me, right? Like you speak to people then, that dude, his brother are wild animals, man. They're menaces to society, all this crazy stuff. But it takes time and the right environments. My wife, she was the right person at the right time, right? My first business started around then. That was the right place at the right time. The circle started to change locally. The right people started coming in. Right place at the right time, putting yourself in the right place at the right time. And those things have compounded now over the better half of a decade. Is it perfect? No. I'm rewinding 30 some years of nonsense, right? But again, you're subtracting all these things. That's the hard part, is when you've compounded so much in these previous years and you're trying to peel those layers of that onion back and get back to where you are today, man.
Yeah.
So
let me get to this question. And guys, I usually will take questions at the end, or Dave will take questions at the end. This is a good question. And no, I'm not coming on to say anyone's name, but Curlvin asked, hey, what's your take on ID and banking info implants that the Europe is trying to pass into law? I think that's the mark of the beast, brother. I would reject it. You guys have to fight that any and all costs, right? And let me tell you this. If I'm wrong and it's not the mark of the beast, okay, let's just say that you guys do that. You have no control over anything ever again. That is literally what they're going to do to take you guys and put you into a social credit system, just like they have in China. Okay. And then there's no more freedoms. All right. And with the technology that they have today, if that is ever enacted, you guys ever agree to it. All right. It is enough where you won't be able to we will not be able to overcome it. Okay. That is the hill to die on. All right. People always ask this. I think there's really two things here. One, fighting these satanic pedophiles that are doing God knows what to kids. Okay. Evil should not be tolerated. That is a hill to die on. This digital ID and banking info implants, that is the other hill, guys. Those are the two things that must never be allowed ever to happen. You need to be willing to die for that. And I mean that. Okay. And if you can't rally enough people, get enough people organized to go and handle that, then what I would do is try to move where that's not going to be. But the problem is this: if everybody in unison does not rise up and fight that, the more, like, Europe's a little bit further ahead on the agenda than the US is. Okay. That's not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. It's just something you have to be aware of. And what's going to happen is they're going to see how you guys react to that. Right. And depending on how you guys react to that, that's how they're going to try to unroll it here. All right. And again, if I'm not wrong on it, I don't think I'm wrong on it. I do think I believe truly it's the mark of the beast. And you can read it in Revelations. However, if that is not the case, right? Let's just say it's not the case and I'm wrong. It will still be the thing that puts you into a social credit system and takes away all your freedom, and we'll never get it back. Okay, they have way too much technology with AI, with drones. That is the hill to die on, guys. All right, and I don't really interrupt what we're talking about for questions. I take them at the end, but that was a question that is so close to me that I truly believe that. So fight that with everything you got, organized, do whatever you need to do. Okay, that's the one. And Dave, I don't think you see it any other way, right?
Nah, strength in numbers, man. There's more of us than there is them.
What are you asking me? What my thoughts are on Andrew Tate? I really don't follow him, guys. I think he's loud, outspoken. If you're saying hey, you call me Andrew Tate because I'm bald, that's funny, but totally different people. All right. Anyway, yeah, guys, addition by subtraction. Okay, think of what you really want, remove everything else. I hope that helped. All right, we will catch you on Financial Fitness Friday. All right, have a great week.
Be great, y'all.